Good evening. Welcome to everyone. And Salima, would you start the recording, please?
It's already going.
Okay, thank you, beloved.
Thank you.
Oh, I guess now I can see that. All right. This is Tuesday evening. It is 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this is our Deepening Our Connection with God class, course, support group, sponsored by Sufi Center, Minnesota. Welcome to all. Allow yourself to relax. We're going to start with an experiential, a meditation. The intent, and God willing, the intent of everything we're going to do for the next hour and a half to 2 hours is helping in some way to deepen our connection with God, to deepen it, to strengthen it. And our part of that is basically letting go, getting out of the way. God, Allah, does all the heavy lifting, does all the work for us. We'll do the Fatiha. We'll invite the prophets, the messengers, the saints to be with us. Audu Balaya Mini Shatani Rashim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Adina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Waladhdallin. Amen. Relaxing a little bit more. Letting go just a little bit more. Allowing your Creator to guide you, to lead you, to take you a little deeper into your spiritual heart. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ibrahim Rasulullah. Musa Rasulullah. Isa Rasulullah. Alay. Salatu Allah. Consciously, without effort, letting go a little bit more. Consciously, without effort, turning away from all or most of your distractions. Consciously turning away from the world, the outside world, the dunya. It is an incredible distraction for us. Consciously, gently, effortlessly turning more God to Allah. And doing whatever feels comfortable to you in this moment. Bowing, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just entertaining the idea, the possibility of bowing, surrendering, letting go. Surrendering to something higher than yourself. Surrendering to whatever your current concept of God is. God, Source, Yahweh, Hashem, Allah, Atman, Ram. There's a whole host of names. Choose the one that feels most comfortable to your heart. Choose the one that feels most real to your spiritual. And God willing, Allah willing, our connection will deepen subtly, maybe noticeably. That's up to the one that's up to Source. That's up to Allah. Allowing your body to relax, let go gently, effortlessly. Allow the name of God to silently come up inside, to appear inside, and bring your awareness gently, effortlessly, bring your attention to the name, opening up a little bit more to the name. Noticing how your heart feels. Noticing whatever comes into your awareness in your heart center, your spiritual heart, which is different than the physical heart. They're both in the chest. We're practicing many things on the subtle level. Noticing, witnessing, relaxing, releasing, bowing, etc., etc. And we're avoiding the best we can. We're letting go of the best we can. Thinking, planning, judging, analyzing, critiquing, anything that requires effort. Effort physically, mentally, emotionally, and simply notice how your heart center is getting a little soft, a little quiet. And you may notice that you don't have to do anything for this process to happen, for this process to deepen. And you may notice at times during the time we're together, during your week, that when you are trying to do things, efforting, etc., that the heart feels different. And if we're really trying, really efforting, really pushing, we have no heart awareness. We're pretty disconnected from our heart. And as much as we may not want to hear it or realize it, that's on us. We can try blaming something else for it. And we all have a lot of practice with blaming. Blaming shuts down the heart connection. When the heart connection gets impeded, compromised, impacted in some way, it's on us. Ultimately, bottom line, it's on us. Because we have wandered away from our connection with God in some way. And if we're really triggered, really upset, and we all have experience with that, we've really interrupted our connection with God. Allah has not turned away from us. Allah never turns away from us. We're the one that turns. And with practice, with walking, the more we're suffering, the more our heart has turned away. At times we won't believe this, we won't accept it. We'll blame God. We'll blame God for the pain in our heart. And with practice, what we'll start to notice is our heart is not in pain. We're feeling, experiencing a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. That pain's coming from the ego, from our personality, from our belief system that wants what it wants. We all do that, beloveds. As we practice more, as the law walks us deeper, we do it a little less and a little less and a little less. And then we get caught, and then we get triggered. Something happens to us, we really get upset. And we go back to blame, shame, complain, anger, rage. We all do that. I think it's pretty safe to say everybody on this call does that. As God walks us deeper, we do it less and less. Thank you, Allah, for that blessing. So you're inside with the name, inside with God, doing the best you can without effort, to very gently, lovingly focus on the name and all that the name represents, which is well beyond our comprehension. Allah, Allah. And when we notice we're distracted, we come back to the name. We come back to God, to Allah. We come back to the one place of certainty in all of existence, in all of creation. We come back to the one answer of answers. Allah is the answer to every difficulty we have, every problem we have. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, our Lord. Thank you, our Creator. We have so much to thank you for. And compared to how much time we focus on the world versus focusing on Allah, we don't thank you very often, Allah. We don't thank you very. Please help us to remember to thank you more. Please help us to want to thank you. Please help us to tune in more and more subtly how to thank, how to be with you, how to open to you. Allah, Allah, Allah. Every time we're distracted, notice and come back. It happens. We'll be doing this hundreds of times, thousands of times. God willing, for the rest of our life. And over time, and many of you are already noticing this, we don't get distracted quite as often. And the distractions don't take us quite as deep. And we don't hold on to the distractions quite as long. There's a gradual shift. It's gradual out of the mercy of God. And now allow yourself to come back to your body, your chair, couch. Come back to the room where you are. Come back to this group. Come back to this course. Allah, Allah. And let's see what we're going to open it up for Q&A. We're going to have the same basic format tonight. We start with an experience. Again, this is all to support deepening our connection. So we start with an experiential, then we do a Q&A. And inshallah, several of you help co-teach during the Q&A. Then we'll do a practice together after that and more Q&A. And we'll see how we're doing on time. So at this point, oh, one other thing. Salima Kathy is with us. We have her light, her energy is with us. She is having coughing fits. So we don't know if we'll actually see her or hear from her, but we can feel her presence. Her presence is here. She's helping to hold us. She's with us, she's listening to us, sending us very nice energy. Okay, so I believe or hope you remember how to mute and unmute. I think it's *6. Who wants to be first? Whose heart is guided with the first question or the first sharing? Take your time. It feels like most of us went pretty deep during the experiential. Feel it, absorb it, stay with it. And you may be guided to speak from that place. If you're guided, go for it. And it's okay for us to sit in the silence, the stillness together. It's perfectly fine for us to be in the light together. Salam alaikum and welcome, Yasmin. Are you going to be sharing something with us? Okay, great.
Hello, everybody. I don't know if this is, again, the appropriate, again, with the judgments. Astaghfirullah. I guess my question is, in my walking, is it more a matter of just continuing to do the practices and continuing to make the intentions? I guess right now I'm in this really big, like, do I even trust God sort of state, which is kind of throwing me off course with this state that I'm in. This is really just trying to shake me up. I know that the shaitan is really trying to mess with me right now with this question, but it, I guess I don't because I was never introduced to trust as a child, how do I start to trust God to take care of me in whatever capacity that is? You know what I mean? Or is it a matter of truly just like one foot in front of the other, just keep feeling his light and trying as much as I can to let him hold me? And with experience, having that and building upon that as trust. Am I kind of answering my own question here with that?
Uh, notice how your heart caught
I know.
that. Well,
And there's my answer.
yeah, I'm very serious. Seriously, just pause.
Okay.
Feel your heart. Feel how you didn't answer the question.
Allah did.
Allah sent you the guidance.
Yeah.
Beloved, we can talk about this, but it's just talking.
Yeah.
You are, Allah through you is teaching what this
Okay.
is giving an experiential that words can't come close to conveying. You're feeling it. It's being transmitted to you. It's being transmitted to the group, all in different ways.
Yeah. And when I sit in my heart, it's like I have no other choice. I need to. In order to keep going, I need to. And again, it's words, but when I feel it in my heart, it's so much deeper than that.
Yep. And you need to what?
Have patience.
Ah, you're 2 for 2. Yes, a need for it.
Okay.
And my guess is that speaks for pretty much everybody on this call.
Okay.
You're being a template, an example for us. Yes.
Okay.
You're doing a beautiful job. Allah's doing a beautiful job through you. And you're also templating for us, just letting go and receiving. Notice inside your mind isn't racing around trying to do this. You're pretty quiet inside. You're receiving. Everybody feel into Yasmin's heart. Feel what Allah is sending to her, because Allah is also sending it to you in this moment. This is a teaching we receive in silence, in stillness. We're used to thinking, we've been trained to think, we can only receive teachings through words, through the mind, through words. That's not the truth. You're showing us, beloved, how we receive teachings with a quiet heart, with a quiet mind. We absorb them. And you can just nod your head so you don't have to talk. I'm going to ask a question. And it seems like Yasmin is just pretty much sitting there not doing anything. Is that correct? She's receiving. She's tasting. She's experiencing. And Yasmin, when you have an opportunity, you can thank your God for that. You can try, but I wouldn't recommend it. Don't take any credit for it. Give credit where credit is due. Keep drinking, absorbing. Allow yourself to be washed with the light. That's it. It's relaxing even more. The less effort on our part, the more absorption. This is priceless, yes. We can't put a price on this. We can't explain this. Somebody else that has experienced it will understand. Anything else you want to share, beloved?
Just thank you. It's just really nice to be here weekly and just grateful when everyone shows up for Allah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you.
Thanks for being the first one. Thank you. Salima, did you have something to share?
Just a reminder that the doubt you were experiencing earlier, if you can allow yourself to receive that as a gift, it helped open this and deepen your connection. And because you already were connected, you were able to move through it very quickly. So the doubt was not a bad thing. Thanks.
Thank you, Salima. Okay. Who's next? Other questions, comments?
I'll go next. This is Hawa.
Assalamu alaikum, beloved.
Oh, alaikum salam. It's good to be here. I know, well, I was hit with a really strong voice that says, like, well, you're not good enough to talk or share. And, you know, it feels like it's been operating a long time. And my question is, should I just write that down, or does that go really deep into the trauma? Or should I just keep walking, you know, forward?
It's a nice question. It's a timely question.
It's a what question?
Timely. It's
Timely
a timely question.
Oh, that's good.
Our group spends a lot of time on voices. because there's a lot of work that needs to be done with voices.
Yeah, I feel that way for myself, that's for sure.
You bet. You bet. So, the first step, just for review. First step, notice there's a voice. Second step, discern through practice, discern what's its source. Is it from Allah? Is it from the nafs? Is it from the shaitan?
It's definitely from the shaitan. I don't.
Okay, excellent. So when we discern it's from the shaitan, what's the next step, beloved?
Just turn away from it.
Yeah, stop listening and turn back to God. We don't want to turn
Right.
away from the shaitan and just be in no man's land or no woman's land.
No, that's for sure.
We want to say, okay, shaitan, you caught me. Goodbye. And we go back to Allah. And what do we do when we turn back to Allah? Say, hi, Allah, how you doing? What's up?
La ilaha illallah on this one.
Yeah, we do zikr. We do a zikr. La illallah is very
Allah.
important. Or Allah, sometimes taba. The intent is we're turning to God consciously and we're praying to God. That's what we do. So you can do that right now.
Well, I feel like alhamdulillah, Allah showed me the voice.
Allah showed you the voice, and then what's next?
Just turn to Allah. That's all. La ilaha illallah.
Yes.
And just keep with that. Okay.
Keep with that. We'll check back with you in a little bit.
Okay.
If we forget, or if Latif forgets, which happens a lot, just check with Nura. Just remind me and give us an update. Would like to hear from you before we get off the call.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for bringing that. Okay. Salima, you want to put her back on mute? 808 number. Thank you. And who's next? Drop out of your heads, go into your heart.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Maryam.
I just had the experience of the guided meditation came, and a remembrance with that came at a time when right before this, I had a very distressing call from someone who's really in psychological trouble and spiritual trouble. And I didn't think I was going to be able to settle into the remembrance. And to my great surprise, Allah like just helped me to go into that chamber and be in that peace, in spite of like the most earth-shattering, really horrible stuff that's going on right now, which happened also in my retreat. So it seems to be a theme right now. And I'm just really grateful that even with like what I would consider the most stressful things, that I could feel the peace and I could feel the support. And that's very, very precious. And I'm grateful for Yasmin for that issue too about trust, because this to me builds trust.
Yes. And would you, is your experience that The trust is built over time through experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that, I don't know if that came up earlier in this call or maybe it's earlier today. No, somebody did bring it up about trust. And sometimes the law will send in the guidance, we need more trust. And it feels good. And we go, yes, that's right. I need more trust. Yes. And then if you pause, and this is one of my favorite words because I use it so often, you'll realize you're clueless. That's how to get more trust.
Yeah.
We're just clueless. Or you need to be more loving. Or you need to be more merciful, whatever. We're clueless. So the follow-up question is, Allah, how? And you just answered the how. It's through the practice. The more we do the practices, the more trust develops. And we don't even have to focus on trust. We can completely forget about it, get more and more steeped into the practices, spend more and more time with the practices. We check in later and we'll notice, there's more trust here. Did that get delivered? How did that show up? Where'd that come from? And we know where it comes from. We don't build trust by thinking I need more trust.
Right.
And we've all tried that. More trust comes from doing the practices. More trust comes from a deeper and deeper connection. I'm getting the word byproduct. Trust is a byproduct of doing the practices. It's a byproduct of bowing, surrendering. It takes no effort. When we really try to build trust, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Just a second. Yes. And the teaching yours, Allah is sending through you to us, is when we get off center, this came up during the opening experiential, when we get off center, when we really get triggered, when we really get challenged like you did, with the calls you referred to, and before that with the experience that you were having the past week or so, we can fight it, we can effort our way through it as we surrender, as we consciously turn back to God. It softens, it changes, it goes away. The answer to everything is God. It's that simple. And it's incredibly difficult because of our habit patterns.
Yeah. You know what, though, beloved, even though I've been doing this a really long time, the thing that's new about that I'm getting in this class is the part about not efforting, of actually just, like, I've always been someone who strive, try, work. You're lazy if you're not, blah, blah, blah. And just to actually sit and receive, I mean, who wouldn't want to? You know what I mean? It's like, it's so beautiful and easy to just, it's not easy, but if you can do it, to not have to do anything is like completely revolutionary to me.
That's a great testimonial, Mario. It's a great testimonial. And because it's true. Because it's true. One of the things
Wow.
that I've been noticing in my own walking, Allah has me teaching more, has me more with groups. I'm much less uptight about it than I used to be. I spend much less time preparing than I used to, than the anal part of my personality. You know, what effort and plan, and what if this comes up, and blah, 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 blah. And as those patterns just soften and fade away, I am shown more and more. This is about two things: connecting, and my part is just to bow and show up. So instead of spending a lot of time with lesson plans and this and that, it's show up. Tonight, another great example. And the teachings that come through seem very helpful. And they're very helpful coming from all the co-teachers that have been showing up during this series. It seems like they're fairly helpful, whatever Allah is bringing through Latif. They're very helpful, what Allah is bringing through Salima. The more we can just let go and be an instrument, be an empty vessel, the better the results.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Like Salam. Thank you. Thank you. Next. Is there a next? And there doesn't have to be, whatever your guidance is. Okay, we're going to do an experiential. We started with one, we did Q&A. We're going to go back inside and do an experiential. And I'm waiting for it to come through. So everybody just drop deeper into your heart. And the practice we're going to do, we're going to repeat two qualities. The first quality and the last quality. The first one, the 99th one. The first quality is compassion, Rahman. The last quality is patience, Sabur. We're going to be repeating them. I'll do them out loud in whatever way Allah wants them to come through. You can do it out loud. You can do it silently. Just listen. With the key being in our heart and noticing what's happening. We aren't trying to receive. We're bowing, we're surrendering to get out of the way. So we're not interfering with what Allah is sending to us. We interfere a lot. Our egos interfere a tremendous amount. Our belief systems, our personalities a lot of interference. So being in your heart. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Sabur, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Sabur. Feel it, just feel, notice, witness. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Sabur, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Sabur, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Sabur. Now we'll just stay with Rahman, the compassion. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman. Let going a tiny bit more, bowing a little bit, surrendering without effort a little deep. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman. Receiving the compassion, drinking the compassion, allowing the body subtly reverberate, vibrate with the compassion. Ya Rahman, 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 Ya Rahman. Now Sabur, Ya Allah, Ya Sabur, Ya Allah, Ya Sabur, Ya Allah, Yasabu. Ya Allah. Yasabu. Ya Allah. Yasabu. 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 Bowing, letting, dropping deep. Yasabu. 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 Now just going into silence, silently repeat, silently receive. Ya Rahman, Ya Sabu, Ya Rahman, Ya Sabu, Ya Rahman, Ya Sabu, Ya Rahman, Ya Sabu. Silence, stillness. Allah may be giving you glimpses of a deeper stillness. Allah may be sharing with you. As Rumi says, there's a voice that speaks to us without words. Listen. Listen to feel the voice without. And maintaining this awareness, maintaining this inner silence. Again, bring a little more awareness back to the group, back to this course. And I'm guided to share with you a very brief passage from one of C.D.'s books. The book is How the Arrival is Realized. If you have this book, if you spend any time with it, if you notice that it is dense, that maybe you can get through half a page, which is what happened to me at a number of CD's books for quite some time. CD's talking about phenomena. And we all experience many phenomena in our life. It's like a transition, a shifting from one state to a deeper state. And this goes back to what we touched on a little bit, I think, in all of these calls. This is a path of the heart. It's not a path of the head, not a path of the mind. The mind has value. It has some value. But that value can only be used when the mind is a servant of the heart. So this is a little bit about the mind and our, for most of us, very deep dependency on the mind, on the head, on the brain. And he's talking about phenomena in the deeper states. It is not arrived at through logical reasoning and rational indication. It's not arrived at. We don't make progress on the path through logical reasoning and rational indication. Logical reasoning is a significant barrier to walking deeper. Rational indication, a significant barrier to walking deeper. They have no place in the heart. There's no use to the heart. The heart receives wisdom, receives knowing directly from Allah through the Marifa, through the quality Alim, which is wisdom. None of that operates through the mind. The mind can be useful. We don't want to discard it. But it needs a lot of control, a lot of watching. It's like a rebellious teenager. You don't trust them. You'll watch them. They don't have the guidance. They don't have the maturity. The mind doesn't have the wisdom. So when you find yourself or notice, because we spend a lot of time with it, thinking, wondering, planning, rationalizing, excuse me, notice it, say thank you, turn away from it. We do the same thing with that we do with the voices. And they're usually from the dark. So, beloveds, we're back to Q&A. If you want to participate, if you don't, please don't force it. Let it come from your heart. Allah has sent us a lot of light. a lot. Some of our hearts feel very full. Thank Allah for that. And notice if you have a question. Bring it up. Alhamdulillah. It feels like we're full. Like we're full in a good way. We're full in a beautiful way. It's a different fullness than after Thanksgiving dinner when we've stuffed ourselves. That fullness can feel good too. This fullness is much higher, much more sublime. There's a holiness, there's a sacredness to this fullness. And we had nothing to do with it. We got out of our way. So our hearts, our souls, our secrets were able to receive without our usual interference from ourself, our personality, our beliefs. So if there is nothing else, you know how to reach us. Feel free, send your questions, send your suggestions. Send us your feedback, negative or positive. Negative will be received with love. It will be, because there's teachings in that. Then we will say Assalamu alaikum. And we'll continue to send our good wishes for deep healing to Salima. Okay, who just came off of mute?
That was me. It's Rivka Rebecca. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Hi. Is it okay to bring something up, or did you want to close?
No, I was just closing because nobody was bringing anything up. So please go ahead.
Okay. So I brought up last week about this like irritation in my bladder, and so I've been sitting with that this week, and I had some anger around, there was a belief system about being a failure, and so I was noticing anger and expressed that, and when I just expressed it for just even a few minutes, then all this love was coming in, and it was coming down sort of into that same area in my bladder. And then I got up and was thinking, oh, I'll brush my teeth and listen, but my heart really wanted to just come back and receive. And I noticed the same pattern of like pushing myself to like do more. And I'm still trying, I'm like sitting with it, but there's just this really, really deep ingrained pattern about, I don't know, I can't even really put my finger on it, but it's like, it has to do with sort of a generalized anxiety around getting more stuff done. And it feels like a perfectionism type of thing, but I just wondered if you could say more about that, and if you've had that pattern or what could be underneath it, or just like associations around that pattern of the now.
Sure. We'll just talk in kind of a general way, because we're not set up in this course to really do healing work. That would be a different course, and inshallah we'll set one of those up. So you're getting more awareness of the pattern, which is very helpful. Because when we're ill, when we're upset, when we're triggered, when we're all of those at once, there's a pattern that's getting touched. And to do healing, we need to go inside and identify the pattern. And we don't identify it. The law will open it up for us. And that opening is really dependent upon our connection with God. So when we have a lot of anger at God, which is quite common, it interferes somewhat with the process. It doesn't stop it. Excuse me. It just makes it a bit longer. So the pattern you're describing, basically is very common, Rivka. And this pattern of pushing in our society, extremely common. And underneath that pattern, there's old wounds, or an old wound. And under that, there's an old belief, an old voice that's in the unconscious. And we're listening to it. And we've been listening to it for years. We've probably been listening to it since early childhood. And we've listened to it so often, we have no awareness of it because it's in the unconscious. And it has transitioned from a voice to a belief. And examples of this is, I'm no good. I'm always going to fail. It's not going to happen for me, etc. And notice these are all negative. And when we discern, they're always from the dark. And the law gives us, explains to us what to do. We just haven't listened. This path helps remind us what to do with the healing process. It's not complicated. It only feels complicated and difficult because we've gotten so far away from it. We can relearn it. We can get reacquainted with it. We can get reconnected with it. So it's finding that old false belief, because these are negative and they're false. There's no truth in them. I'm a failure. God has forgotten me. There's a variety of them. I've never thought of this till now, but I should make a list of like the top 10 because we share these. They're just so common. And they have, usually what's underneath it is fear. We may notice anxiety. That's more on the surface. We go underneath that, we'll notice fear. We go underneath that, we'll notice anger. Often we go underneath that, we'll notice rage. And it's not unusual at all that anger and rage is directed at God. And this has been going on for years, or maybe decades. And these old, dark, negative beliefs that we're holding on to, that we're believing, they cause disharmony in the body. And when we're holding that anger and rage, that's fire that's being held in the body. It's just a matter of time until the body starts to react and break down. That's the case with heart disease, diabetes, cancer, bladder, colon, you name it. Underneath it is darkness. Allah has sent us messages during our life to help us not become serious, to help us find it, to heal it. We have pretty much universally ignored the messages. So we die of strokes, we die of heart attacks, we die of cancer, we die of all kinds of things because inside our body's in a state of disharmony. It's in a state of dis-ease. Thank you, Rivka, for being vulnerable and sharing this. You're a good template for us. I'm sure there's some other people on this call. There's disharmony in the body. And the body's starting to break down, to not operate optimally, because parts of it are cut off from the light, from the healing light. Allah wants to heal us. Allah is sending His light to us. But if we've closed the door, it's not going to come in. We've closed the door to the light, and we've closed the door to the love, the real love, the real mercy, the real compassion. And part of the healing is waking up to that more and more, becoming more in touch with it, taking more responsibility. That, yes, what Latif's talking about, I think I've been doing that. When we deny it, which we're very good at, when we blame other people, which we're even better at, we don't heal. And when we deny it, when we go into blame, when we go into shame, the disharmony increases. Allah created us to be at ease, to be harmonious, to feel His sacredness, His holiness. That's the state we were designed to be in. When we were with God in pre-eternity, before we came to creation, that's what we were. That's what we carried. It's what we felt. The good news is we still carry it. The helpful news is to realize we've just forgotten. And the more helpful news is to realize we can reconnect. But to reconnect, we have to operate differently. We have to live differently. We have to believe differently. More and more in line with the teachings of all the religions, of all the true spiritual paths. They're all talking about the same thing, how to get back to harmony. And you can feel your heart. Your heart's receiving some of that transmission of the harmony of the hawk. You don't need words for it, just feel it. Allah sending that as a reminder that, beloved, I'm still here. I'm still with you. I still love you. I still want the best for you. And there's a few things in your life you need to change. And I've been sending you messages. I've been sending you hints. Some of you, I've been increasing the intensity of the messages. Open your mail. The message is in your inbox. Open it, read it, receive it, follow it. Is this helping, Rivka?
Yeah. And I think each layer of the anger takes me deeper into another layer of the fear. So now I'm just trying to receive and be with a kind of a very core,
Yes.
I don't know, existential fear. I don't know.
Yes. And it's a beautiful description, beautiful awareness you have. Kipling wrote a very helpful line about this. Anger is the egg of fear. So if there's anger present, there's fear. There's fear there. And most of us need some help to walk through anger, to walk through fear. And I know you're reaching out, Rivka, for that help. Reach out even more. And your heart is opening more and more to say, taking self-responsibility. And it feels like your heart is going less and less into blame, less and less pointing to other people that they're the problem. That if they would just get fixed, I would be better. That shifting in you, beloved. Alhamdulillah. Keep walking. Anything else for now, Rivka?
I don't think so. Thank you.
And I thank you, beloved. I deeply thank you. Salima, you have something to share with us?
Nothing to add with what you just shared. Thank you for that. I was reminded if we wanted to just take a moment to check in with Hawa if she still wants to.
Thank you. I'm so surprised Latif forgot.
Yeah. And Hawa, I don't feel like you have to, but if you'd like.
Is she still with us?
I'm just checking that out. Actually, I think, no, she is no longer with us. So my apologies.
Yep. No, she, yeah. Okay, alhamdulillah. Thank you for the reminder, Sunita. Thank you. Okay, last call. We've run into overtime, which no big deal. It's a lost time. Okay, we'll do the Fatiha. And with this Fatiha, let's just see if we can maybe bow with Allah's help. That's the key. That we can bow just a little bit deeper. That some part of us can let go just a little bit. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Adina Surat Mustaqim. Surat Ladina Namta Alayhim. Ghayril Maghdubi Alayhim. Waladallin. Ameen. 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 Peace and blessings, everyone. Lots of love. Much love. Hope to be with you again soon. Assalamu alaikum. Take care.